Have you ever seen these hinges? Wondered about using them yourself? Today I'm going to show you how to install hidden barrel hinges. This is at least the way I do it, and it gets the job done with a high level of accuracy. As you can see by this install spec, there are some pretty precise measurements to be made in getting this right. However, I've created and sell on my Etsy a 3D printed jig that makes sure your hinges are installed with perfect alignment. So let's get right into it. There are two ways you can use hidden barrel hinges. The first way is like you just saw on that backgammon board, on the inside of a box. In this case, I'm using panels laid flat to more accurately demonstrate. Simply line your boards up, place the jigs where you want your hinges to be, then use some kind of clamp to hold everything together. Use a center punch or awl with the jig holes to create a center point for your drill bit. Do note, you will need an exact size brad point bit depending on the hinges you chose. That means if you chose 10mm hinges, you'll need to get a 10mm drill bit. I'll link the one I purchased for this install below. I've also heard of some people using 10.5mm drill bits to make it easier to install these in hardwoods, but in walnut on that backgammon board, I was able to get away with the 10mm on its own. One other note is that a drill press will be far superior at this drilling task than freehand with a drill. The 10.5 may be more necessary if you don't own one. Now you see me using a flathead screwdriver to knock these in. This was the only way I was able to get my hinges seated in hardwood, but in softwood, you'll find this task to be more forgiving. Once the hinges are in place, I'd advise opening and closing the joint a couple times in order to get them seated at the correct depth for a tight close. Then you'll need a small flathead screwdriver to tighten the set screws. To give you a better idea of how I use this jig on my backgammon board, here are some quick clips of that. Moving on, the next way you might want to install these hinges would be for a door on a small cabinet or something similar. In this case, you would be installing the hinges on the edge of your board, so I wanted to make sure this was covered. I'll spare you the details as you watch me do the same thing as before, but I reckon you could absolutely use a drill press in this case as well, although you'd probably need an upright and square vise of some kind. Also, while I have you, this video is the official start of a how-to series I'll be doing on the channel. I'm thinking it will include jigs you've seen me use in other videos, hardware installation, and anything else I think deserves a bit of a quick tutorial on its own. My goal is to keep these videos under 5 minutes so they're easily digestible and something you can reference quickly. If you think you'd like to continue seeing those, please consider subscribing to the channel. Additionally, if you'd like to see something in particular, consider leaving a comment.